How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new video. Today's really just going to be a more simple video. So it's sort of just a slow news day, things really moving sideways for the most part, but interesting to see this talk about the Venezuela cryptocurrency. If you guys want, we could definitely continue the conversation about that, but today we are going to be talking about a little bit more fun topic, which is going to be celebrities and how they've been attaching themselves to cryptocurrency. And a lot of these celebrities are having trouble staying relevant in the modern shifting day of the current paradigm. So it is interesting to see how they've been sort of desperately grasping out to essentially promote themselves alongside the notoriety that's been given to these cryptos. So this is a good sign as far as mass adoption is concerned, because it's getting normal everyday people thinking about cryptocurrencies in a way that wouldn't have already happened. Or even a little bit less interesting, depending on how you feel about it, has been celebrities like Eminem giving Bitcoin a shout out on Kamikaze. Now, why is this important? Well, essentially this is a different demographic of people who don't necessarily pay attention to cryptocurrency. Like, people who listen to Eminem are for the most part probably not necessarily up to date on the latest technology, let's say. Probably not the smartest people out there. Now, I'm sure some of the people listening to this are most likely fans of Eminem. So first of all, let me just say the guy's a has-been. He's trying to inject as much awareness. I mean, hey, if this was 2001 even, or early to late 90s, I'm sure that there would have been people who would have found out where I live and tracked me down just for saying something about this guy. Not to discredit his legacy, but it is important for people like these to realize when their time has come. And essentially, Eminem has to attach himself to Bitcoin's notoriety in order to gain any sort of relevancy, which is sort of an interesting indication of where things are going to go. We've seen this happen with celebrities before too, where they reach out for any chance they can get to talk about the most relevant things out in the world. But for people who say that Bitcoin's going to go to zero, or Bitcoin's going to be completely forgotten, I mean, do you think that people like Eminem would be referencing it in their songs and talking about how it's going to be the next big thing if it was suddenly going to crumble down to the ground? It's interesting to see we've got celebrities like Johnny Depp now lined up to be playing talking about Ripple in a movie, a movie about the founder of Ripple, and then we also have various other Hollywood adaptations that are incorporating cryptocurrency as a plot device. So we could really start to see cryptocurrency building up in the public consciousness of just everyday moviegoers and entertainment consumers, which is ultimately going to be a big thing. I mean, I'm sure that this 1% in the green doesn't have anything to do with the pump that Eminem gave to Bitcoin, but still at the same time, it is just interesting to see these different pop culture notoriety sort of figures, like old has-beens like Eminem, essentially giving given the attention. So I guess this is news. A lot of people wanted me to talk about how Eminem has been giving cryptocurrency shout outs on his new album for relevancy. Now, I understand Eminem is pretty much the most irrelevant person you could talk about in the tech space, and I'm pretty sure he's aware of that, because he's got us talking about him, because why would we be talking about Eminem regardless? He's essentially useless when it really comes down to it. He's a has-been, as far as my opinion is concerned. Now, obviously this isn't musical advice, but when it comes down to it, Eminem is really just, it's a clear marketing attempt from him, just to throw a few lyrics in there and then get the whole crypto space talking about it, maybe promote up his album sales. But we'll probably see this same method being replicated by different celebrities. I mean, we've talked about this before, how celebrities that are desperately trying to stay relevant are going to be referencing the successful cryptocurrencies. And of course, Bitcoin, I mean, the most normie cryptocurrency that you could think of. And then, of course, the most normie artist, Eminem, is going to be giving it a shout out. It all seems to be making sense and falling into order quite nicely. Like, Eminem has probably got to be the most predictable artist that anybody, like, he's just like, oh, I'm going to talk crap about the president. I'm going to talk crap about everybody. You know what I mean? He's like talking how much he does all these drugs or whatever. I mean, he's just a generally an old forgotten figure from a bygone era, and he's really alienated most of his fan base. Because think about it, I mean, Trump friggin' promoted this guy for president at one point as a joke, and then he doesn't even have the common courtesy to keep his mouth shut. He has to, you know, dip his toe in the water of you know, Trump hate propaganda. I mean, say whatever you want about either one of these guys, but it is interesting to see how there's sort of that circle jerk of you know, publicity that goes around where nobody's saying anything at all. They're all just sort of referencing things because, you know, Bitcoin and Eminem, like, he could be doing so much more with Bitcoin. Like, why doesn't he start using Bitcoin and crap? You know, people are probably sending him Bitcoin because he's mentioning it in his stupid song.